Stripped of his badge, a cop is out to redeem himself on the Miami street racing circuit. Too Fast, Too Furious is our film at 10:35, now and on ITV1 HD and with some strong language. Celebrity Grimefighters.
Welcome to a very special edition of Grimefighters. Today we've challenged 6 celebrities to leave their comfortable lives behind and get back to the real world to find out what it's like to be Grimefighters. Our stars have been thrown in at the deep end. Oh, God. We've pushed them to the limit.
Disgraceful.
We've tested their mettle.
Sorry, I can't help you here.
Nancy, come on.
So, how will they get on? Neil Morrissey has played many different parts, but until now, he's never starred in a horror movie.
Oh my God!
Gino D'Acampo won Victory in the Jungle, but in Wolverhampton, hold on.
I don't think I have seen anything like this.
Liz Brewer and Nancy Del Olio have always been keen on the high life, but not on the 22nd floor of a tower block in Leicester.
I feel quite sick, don't you?
Yes.
Society girl Tamara Beckwith just wants to kill, kill, kill.
Come on, guys, can we just start killing him rather than chatting?
And Andrew Castle has built a career with sofas on breakfast TV, but now he seems to have lost his touch.
No, I'm push, Andrew. Bloody useless.
Our Grimefighters are involved in a never-ending battle, above ground, cleaning the streets, and also below ground. Our first celebrity is going to enter a world that most of us have never experienced. Neil Morrissey is a real man of the theatre. Christmas often means panto.
Do you know who I am?
Yes, we do. He was in Men Behaving Badly.
I have no grime fighting experience whatsoever, really. I mean, the worst I've had to clean, I suppose, would be a dirty kitchen.
There's no time for a rehearsal. He's got to get stuck in.
I'm looking forward to this because I think it'll be an experience. I think it'll probably be educational as well as interesting.
Neil will have to swap the bright lights and the applause for drama of a different sort. Is he up for it?
Well, let's see where that ended up then.
Neil has to fit in with an established team. Rob and his band of merry men are proud to call themselves the Flushers. It's a fairly obvious job description. Under the West End of London, they're trying to live up to that name.
We've got Neil coming down today, and we're going to take him down to one of our locations where we get a build-up of fat. He'll enjoy it, I think. He'll see a different side of London.
Morning, Rob.
Yes, morning,
Hello,
Neil.
mate, Neil.
All right?
Yeah, good.
Nice to meet you. What we do is we get you kitted up first.
Normally, Neil would expect, at the very least, wardrobe and makeup. But then they'd all want it.
We're at some clubs in the West End where you have to wear this kit to get
Yeah,
in.
that's it, you do. So I've been told.
Couldn't say I'm nervous, I'd say I'm a little bit trepidatious.
All right, is that all comfortable?
Very.
Neil has a sinking feeling that he could be, well, out of his depth.
So this is literally going to be quite deep.
Well, it's not, yeah. It depends on what the flows are like, but...
Depends what the flow's like.
All right?
Yeah. Proper Bob the Builder wear this, isn't it?
My grandchildren are great enthusiasts of Bob the Builder. They must have every bloody thing that Bob uses.
Well, thanks for all the cash, mate.
They don't use canaries anymore, but this might work.
That's monitoring the air that we're breathing. If it starts to beep erratically, then it's time for us to vacate the premises. Say there's methane or hydrogen sulfide.
Just 2 of the most deadly gases known to mankind. That's reassuring.
Yeah. That's the hole we're going down.
I think it'll probably be the first job I've ever been on where it'll actually be OK to fart. Because no one's going to notice, are they? See you later. Right. Where are we?
Possibly in your worst nightmare, Neil.
Oh my God, this is just the entrance. Oh God. I tell you what, Yeah, it gets a bit... You have to get used to that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not so much the smell, it's the burning of the eyes, isn't it?
It's in the air, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrible.
Watch out for the little bits on the top as well.
Oh, God, what are they?
Oh, well, they've got a horrible habit of going down the back of your neck. I don't know what they are. They're growing quite nice, you know, so they must like the atmosphere.
Oh, my God. The amount of stuff that's everywhere is far worse than I don't know what I imagined, sort of the white corridors of London sewers, but this is truly revolting.
It is slightly off-white, isn't it? I'll give you that. You'll be used to it by the end of the day.
Yeah, hopefully. So what are we actually here to do?
We're going to go and inspect the fat down there, maybe get a sample and see what it's made up of. All right?
Yeah.
So we'll get a safety rope on you.
Oh, I think that's
All right.
not a bad idea, yeah. And I'm going to go swimming.
Just follow me.
Yeah,
All right.
OK.
It's a bit out of the way there, yeah?
God. Oh.
All right, you're OK there?
Yeah.
Take another step
Oh,
down.
God, it's horrible. Oh, crikey.
So,
Oh. Honestly, I really am in this shit here. Oh, that is horrible.
what we've got on the sides,
Yeah?
you can see there, that's congealed fat.
No, mate.
Thousands of tons of fat end up here each year from London's restaurants. It's hardened and unless kept at bay will defeat the flushers.
My God, it does go hard.
Yeah.
I always said my job would end up in the toilet.
Down the pan.
Oh, God. I'm covered in shit.
Fat and shit, actually.
But there's muck and muck if you're an expert.
You just get a sample of that and chuck it in there.
Oh,
All right, you're all right with that?
I nearly said, oh, shit, but this is the kind of stuff that gets left down the sewer. Nappy, that is.
You can understand why now we run a bin it, don't block it campaign, can't you?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Neil is undaunted, sort of.
I think I need therapy after this, mate.
Don't lick your lips. So,
Oh, I keep trying not to lick my lips. God,
okay,
that is horrible.
As an actor, Neil is trained to control his feelings, but after 2 hours underground, he drops the pose.
Fresh air. God, that's good.
But what Neil doesn't know is that he's just done the easy bit. It's going to get worse. Now it's time for some glamour. Nancy Del Olio has certainly given the tabloids a run for their money. And Liz Brewer is an expert in etiquette, so that should be useful. To begin with, they seem thoroughly at home with helicopters and things and talking about parties.
I put on extravagant parties.
I've held a few projects at the moment. They are between England and Italy.
And when it comes to cleaning their houses, of course they care.
But I have more than one helpmate to clean my house because, I'm quite obsessed about it, to have everything in order.
I do have somebody who comes and cleans my house. However, there are occasions when I like to clean my own drawers. You know, I go through and I sort my cupboards.
But now they're going to see a different kind of high life in Leicester with Grimefighters, Graham and Kevin.
Yeah, quite looking forward to working with some celebrities.
You are a celebrity.
In the world of grime fighting, Graham and Kevin are from the top draw.
We've got mushrooms in that one. That's the beauty, that is.
They're extreme cleaners. When others feel like retreating, they go forward. For them, the impossible just takes a little longer. Generously, Graham and Kevin are prepared to allow our two stars into their world.
Just absolutely rammed with clothes, the toilet's in its usual state. I'm hoping that Liz and Nancy are going to have a nice bit of a day with us because they're going to be cleaning all that as well.
Liz and Nancy don't really know what they're letting themselves in for.
I'm presuming we may be able to get the vacuum cleaner out or a duster and get rid of a few cobwebs.
But show business can also be a tough business, and they know that a brave face and a can-do attitude is often the key to success. Later, we'll see how they got on.
If I
But now it's the turn of celebrity chef Gino D'Acampo to take up the challenge. He's used to cooking in the finest establishments, turning out first-class food.
I am the happiest when I'm here in my kitchen.
But tonight, we're taking him down a notch or two.
We're here today to do a routine food hygiene inspection.
In Wolverhampton, we're teaming him up with Johnny and Faye, seasoned environmental health officers. They police the restaurants, clamping down on sloppy managements and staff who cut corners.
You are likely to be shut tonight.
Gino's familiar with hygiene inspectors, and he's not a fan.
I definitely had a restaurant inspector before coming to my restaurant. Most of them, they're quite arrogant.
Chefs and people that work in the food industry kind of see us as the enemy, but hopefully today we'll break down those sort of barriers.
They now have a chance to win him over, because tonight Gino will be joining Johnny and Faye on one of their inspections.
Buongiorno!
Buongiorno, nice to meet you.
Ciao,
I'm
Bella.
fine.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Don't worry, very good. I won't kiss you. Don't worry about it. Well, let's rock and roll.
Gino doesn't know it, but he's about to enter Hell's Kitchen.
That is disgusting.
Coming up, Neil puts his foot in it.
And it's all squidgy. Don't need to tell you what that is.
Tamara Beckwith meets Pete the pest controller.
If I get a cockroach on me, I can tell you, I will have a nervous breakdown.
No, you'll be all right.
No, I won't.
And Nancy and Liz realise what they've let themselves in for.
You have to be joking.
We challenge 6 celebrities to swap the life of luxury for the life of grime. They've got to work alongside our Grimefighters in their never-ending battle.
I always take my job and end up in the toilet.
Down the pan.
Our next celebrity Grimefighter is the former tennis champion and television presenter, Andrew Castle. Andrew has a beautiful home in an affluent part of London. He's come a long way.
I grew up in a fish and chip shop, so very unsocial hours. Mum and Dad both working in a pretty tough environment.
Hard work and self-confidence have been 2 of his key attributes.
I don't know what's ahead, but it would have to be very, very bad for me not to want to have a go.
OK, Andrew should have what it takes, but he's got to impress an expert, rubbish removal man Mike.
Right, let's go.
He runs a crew of grime fighters who don't take no for an answer. They're tough, they don't compromise, and they always win in the end. Mike was thinking about putting out a red carpet, but what the hell?
Oh, they're always late, these celebrities, aren't they?
Mate, how are you?
How you doing?
Hello, Andrew. Hi, I'm Mr. Cheek. I believe you come to help us out today.
Yeah, I'll help you out. I hope, is this the team?
Yeah, this is the team.
Nice to meet you.
This is Liam.
Hi, Liam.
Hello. This is Parker.
Yes, my lady.
It's good to see you.
The house has been repossessed and must be cleared, but this job isn't straightforward.
The owner's on site, but as we go around, it'll soon come to light what the situation is.
All right.
The woman who lives here has had a hard time, and now she's faced with the prospect of moving out to a smaller property.
All right, Mike, the kitchen.
A lot here.
You know, it's just a big heap. Would you describe this as hoarding after everything you've seen?
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely a hoarder. It isn't uncommon, this. I see this a lot now.
46,000 homes were repossessed last year. For Mike, sadly, this is just part of his work. But for Andrew, it's hard to take.
What we've got in here. Boxes, obviously books.
What's striking me, Mike,
yeah,
is there's an awful lot of things of really very nice quality. A lot of it's still in its sort of original packaging.
For Andrew, these aren't just things that have to be sorted out and perhaps thrown away. They tell the story of a person's life.
You know, I mean, I'm just getting very powerfully moved by the experience of, you know, the person whose house this is.
While Andrew comes to terms with the problems that lie ahead. In Leicester, extreme cleaners Graham and Kevin wait for Liz and Nancy. They're learning about the different values of show business.
How's time? 20 to 10.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. My name's Graham.
Nancy.
My name's Kevin.
Nancy.
They'll be cleaning a flat on the 22nd floor of this high-rise block. It's a million miles away from what they're used to.
Just before we go in, you need to get your
okay, so we need
on.
to change.
Yeah.
For Nancy and Liz, it's a matter of dressing for the part.
Our hoodies.
But which part exactly? Kevin's not one to complain.
You look stunning.
We do.
Like the gear, pity about the job.
Smell.
Oh, you have to be joking.
The flat has impact, that's for sure.
You have to be joking.
Oh my God, I'm already disgusted.
Oh my
Remember to be shy.
goodness.
Come on, don't be shy.
It's absolutely
Lord.
disgusting.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Well, it got a very nice view.
Yeah.
A room with a view.
Great for looking out, if only you didn't have to look in.
Oh my God, it's so filthy. Take a look at the cigarette butts.
Who was it? Was leaving now? He left like this.
It was an old guy.
It was an
It was an old guy, and he was leaving like this.
Oh, you can't believe people have lived like this.
The worst is still to come.
Oh, you...
No,
I'm going to be
That's
sick.
why I leave that to you.
Ooh.
All in the days.
It's all in the day's work.
Oh, no.
I'm not gonna walk. Sorry, I can't help you here.
Ah, that is disgusting.
It's all a bit too much for the ladies who lunch. Neil Morrissey is continuing his exploration of the underground world. He's reached the East End of London.
Isle of Dogs.
And he's about to take part in his second mission. He's in a storm pumping station to clear a blockage 30 metres below ground.
That looks pretty steep and quite far down, doesn't it? Ugh, and it gets stinky the further you get down. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's quite deep.
And it's all squidgy underfoot. Don't need to tell you what that is.
They're down at the sieves at the end of the sewer run.
So this is all filters.
Yeah.
There should be water flowing through these screens, but they're blocked by a cocktail of horrors.
Everything that I can see is just khaki rags.
Wet wipes, rags, and all the other stuff that comes into the sewer system.
How much time and money is spent on clearing out these sewers?
I would say annually it must equate to some tens of millions.
Good God.
A lot of money.
It's a devastating sum, isn't it?
It is. It is.
High finance is one thing, restoring the flow is quite another. This stuff just has to be cleared.
Tom, can we have a couple of rakes down, please?
I just breathed in through my nose.
OK then, Neil, the gear's arrived.
Lovely.
If you take hold of that one, all right?
OK.
Right. Just push it off the bars a bit and then just drag it down, yeah?
This is harder than it looks. And it's a delicious aroma, isn't it?
Yeah. Watch your face, all right?
I so don't want to get splashed in my face. Right, let's see.
Finally, a breakthrough. For Neil, cue for applause.
You're doing a grand job there, Neil.
Seeing this lot, you've seriously got to think about it before you start flushing stuff like this down the toilet. And you've got to think about these blokes down here who have to come and clear it up.
That'll drain down overnight.
Brilliant. So what now?
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a cup of tea and have been for quite a while, don't you?
Yeah, come on.
I think we've earned that, don't
Let's
you?
go back to the service. I'm starting to feel like a Gollum here.
OK then. Right now, Neil, when you're ready, up you go. Yeah.
Time for Rob to hand out some medals.
Before Neil turned up this morning, I was thinking, well, a celebrity. And to be quite honest, I mean, he's got stuck in and he's helped us, and I think he really does appreciate just the problems that we're having down here.
The Bin It Don't Block It campaign has a new champion.
I will wholly encourage everybody I know to not throw things down the toilet. I think people just have a misconception that once it goes down, then it'll break down and disappear, but it doesn't. It's got to go somewhere, and today I found out where.
In Wolverhampton, celebrity chef Gino De Campo has joined restaurant inspectors Johnny and Faye on their evening rounds.
They don't know we're coming, so we're not entirely sure what we're going to find.
Just we're just going to walk in?
Just going to walk in, we're going to identify ourselves, and then we're going to make a start. Yeah.
Gino never imagined he'd become a restaurant inspector.
This is really scary. I mean, I thought that would be much cooler than this. I wouldn't want to do their job, and definitely I wouldn't do their job at night.
Hiya. You're right. Just from environmental health, you just do your routine inspection. Okay.
These kitchens are not what Gino is used to, but he doesn't want to be rude.
I have to admit, it's a bit old, the place, tacky, but we could be in for a surprise that is actually quite clean. I have no idea yet.
The inspectors are thorough, and Gino soon gets the idea.
You can tell a lot about a place by looking at the toilets. There's people that smoke on the premises. Toilet brush is absolutely vile. I'm gonna get out of here.
The list of charges is lengthening every minute.
I've just found this manky container absolutely stinking. I mean, that is just an absolute breeding ground for bacteria.
Here there are bones on the floor, there is vegetable, flour. Where is the pride, really? Where is the pride? I don't know.
And you've got the tiles with flaking bits that could easily get into the food.
What's the smell?
I don't know what that smell is. We haven't found that smell yet. It smells to me like a drain.
I think it's coming from that bucket. What's in that bucket?
I don't know. It's absolutely atrocious, isn't it?
Oh, seriously, this is vile.
This is bad. Like you said, yeah. I think vile is probably the only word you can describe.
This is the kitchen from hell.
You know what I get really annoyed about it, right? Instead of respecting the ingredients that you're going to cook with, respecting the people that are going to come here and pay for the food that you prepare, you're just going to have this fish in a bucket with water surrounded by crap. I don't think I have seen anything like this, and I've been in a lot of kitchens. This is disgraceful.
I mean, look at that. That's absolutely disgusting.
Oh my God.
I mean, you can see there, I'm not even going to touch it. There's a maggot or a worm or something in there.
Oh, look
can
at
you see that?
Look at that. That is disgusting.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Just living in the dirt and debris and the rotten wood.
I mean, what excuse? I'm really interested to find out what excuse they're going to come up with. I'm so, you know, I want to ask them why. Are you the boss of the place?
We together, we got another partner.
But you're one of the partners?
Yeah, one of the partners.
You're one of the partners?
Yeah.
Right, we'll go and have a chat then. Apparently this guy is one of the partners, Faye.
I think he's in trouble.
The conditions that we've seen today are very poor. Structurally, cleaning, it's just not acceptable.
Do you pay your staff?
He pays.
Yeah. When it's not busy, like now, instead of being there and doing nothing, why don't they cleaning? Look, why don't they clean this? Look.
We're going to take photographic evidence, and then yourself and your partner will be invited into the council and under caution and answer questions as to why the premises is in such a poor condition.
Before this visit, Gina had a down on restaurant inspectors, but not anymore.
They really want to make the place better. They really want to shake up the owners and say, hey, look, wake up. I have a lot of respect for both of them.
Coming up, Tamara spots the enemy.
That was in my house, I'd go ballistic. I'd probably call 999.
Things have started to get on top of Andrew.
Go on, push Andrew. Bloody useless.
and Nancy and Liz are feeding the pressure.
Liz, have you got your hands down that toilet yet?
Oh.
Six celebrities have agreed to give up the high life and get their hands dirty. They've joined the war on grime.
It's filthy!
It's sometimes said that in London and in other towns across the UK, you're often no more than 3 feet away from a rat. Pests of all shapes and sizes are closer to us than we'd like to think. Our next celebrity has agreed to step into the front line and confront the enemy at the door.
Party girl Tamara Beckwith has class and money. Look at her posh photography gallery. And there's her Chelsea home, reeking with good taste and perfect housekeeping.
I'm definitely a bit of a neat freak, for sure. I do like it my way.
But Tamara's about to be thrown into another world. Her partner in grime is Pete the pest controller, and he's more at home with real rats than rats in the city.
Well, we're back in Dagenham again. We've got Tamara out with us, some model I think she is. I don't know too much about her.
Most people will have a preconception of who I am, and if they've never met me, then they're just kind of taking it from what I look like, a bit sort of like a, I suppose I'm a bit like an old Barbie now, but an old Barbie with no bosoms.
She's been on telly a lot as well, hasn't she? Come Dancing, I think it was, or Come Dine With Me, or something like that.
I'm doing it really as a bit of a challenge to myself. Every so often it's quite good just to put yourself out of your own comfort zone.
Most probably like all women, all frightened of mice and rats, so we'll wait and see.
Hi there, how are you?
Yep, fine.
You ready?
Pete the pest controller. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yes, I came in grey for you. I thought that was quite sort of neutral.
But leather would have been better.
Leather, yes, leather.
Okay, so where are we off to?
Well, we're going to Barking. We've got a cockroach job to do, so we're going to have a look at that one.
Tamara doesn't mind pest control, so long as there aren't any pests.
If I get a cockroach on me, I can tell you, Pete, I will have a nervous breakdown.
No, you'll be all right.
No, I won't.
These flats on a council estate in Dagenham will be the scene of Tamara's moment of truth.
Do we need to wear anything?
No, we've got everything what we need in this bag here. Cockroaches don't need a lot of stuff, you're all right. Hi, yes. Pest control.
Okay. Hello.
The first thing we look for is their evidence. That tells you a lot, even if you can't see them. If we have a look up the top here, there's like little black dots right in that far corner. And that's the faeces of the cockroach.
What?
But as we go along, you'll see in the cupboards that you
I didn't know
usually
they
see
did
loads. See, look. See them? Look. All them little black dots there, look.
Those aren't black dots, Pete, that's paint.
No, it ain't. It's black dots. It's faeces. Now she's doubting me. My reputation of a pest controller's just gone down.
No, I'm so not doubting it.
Tamara is familiar with the hunting fraternity, and isn't this a bit like that?
I can see one. Quickly, look. I promise it was just... I would just go mad. If that was in my house, I'd fucking go ballistic. I'd probably call 999.
999. Which service do you require? Come on, Tamara, get stuck in. In Lancashire, TV presenter Andrew Castle is facing a much bigger problem. He's got a mountain to climb and then one to clear.
We're going to need more than this, aren't we?
Yeah. But among all this rubbish are some choice items which mustn't be thrown away.
Right, I've thought about all your needs today.
Thank you.
Andrew's boss is Mike, and he's a great believer in the right clothes for the job.
Got your high-vis orange trousers.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. He's going to have a tough time with me today. I'm the drill sergeant.
Let's get this job done. Come on, let's get cracking.
I'm going to put him through his paces. We'll see if this tennis player can match up to my speed on the court.
Suited and booted, ready to report to work. None of this namby-pamby TV stuff.
Andrew talks the talk, but can he walk the walk?
Let's start getting these boxes down, lads, and get the job cracked off. This is what we call a chain gang. Right, what? Right, I got it, mate.
Mike gets his team working with military precision. All the boxes are being thrown away, but there's a nosy side to Andrew.
I'm naturally curious about things like this. I mean, this is somebody's precious stuff, you know. Look in here. But it's hardly been taken out, so that is definitely a keeper. And look at this. Memories from Christmases gone by. A pretty beaten up Christmas tree.
The person who lives here has still not moved out, and Andrew wants to tread carefully.
You know, while we're up here, we're out of earshot of the owner. We got full permission to be here. She wants us to be here. And this job is a part of whatever her kind of process is of getting better, so...
The team are anxious to see that nothing valuable gets thrown away by accident.
Do you want to have a look? No? That is one very brave lady owner, because imagine if your life was being deposited on basically a dump truck.
Repossessing a home is a serious business.
If you can jump up, Andrew, just on the back end.
But the team's mood lightens once they're outside.
As high up as you can. Push. Right, are you in? Have we got it on?
Mike decides it's time to pull Andrew's leg, right off if necessary.
Stop messing about with it and get it on. Bloody useless.
The former breakfast TV presenter finds himself in the unusual position of being under the sofa rather than on it. But it's only a short moment of light relief. For Grimefighters, the days are hardly ever short. Back in Leicester, the world's poshest cleaners are yet to start work. They're still in shock.
This is mind-blowing.
An elderly man lived here alone for years.
I haven't seen nothing like this before.
2 shopping trolleys. Oh, he probably went around the streets with shopping and his
collecting stuff.
And then he ended
collecting
up here.
clothes and...
This is terrible. I feel quite sick, don't you?
Yes, very sick and very sad.
Extreme cleaners Graham and Kevin are used to this sort of thing. It's supervising society beauties that takes a bit of getting used to.
We'll probably start you off in the bathroom first.
Oh,
that's okay.
Oh, shit.
Well.
Deep breath, deep breath. Oh.
Until you get your hands down there, you'll be okay.
Oh.
So I'm going to the kitchen?
Go to the kitchen, yeah?
Yes, I'm going to the kitchen.
Nancy's escaped bathroom duty, but the kitchen's not much better.
Oh, wow. This is absolutely disgusting.
The lads try to concentrate on the work in hand, but it's not easy.
He definitely is the most glamorous assistant we've had. I mean, look at Graham, he's not much to look at, is it?
Oh, I don't even want to know what's behind here.
Well, he's having little bets on who thought was not doing the best at the minute.
Yeah, Liz is doing the best. She seems to want to muck in.
I've just got to the basin.
She'd get a job on here, wouldn't she?
Yeah,
She'd ever stuck. You never know.
I've done 3 sacks.
I think Nancy's scared of breaking her nails or something.
Yeah,
like, you know.
Definitely.
What is this? It's definitely not one of those servant spells that they used to have.
She did ask us how much we get an hour, and we told her. She said I wouldn't even get out of bed for that.
No.
Ooh.
It is hard though, some mornings getting out of bed for it. Definitely.
There's a lot to be said for this unusual experiment.
It's great to watch women work.
Look at it.
Another one coming out. Ooh. Excuse me, are you not supposed to be helping us?
Love to, but I can't get in.
You can take this bag for a start.
Okay. You should have took it down to the van.
No. Liz, have you got your hands down that toilet yet?
I'm doing that last, and it's
lavatory.
Oh, that depends where you come from, doesn't it? It's a boggy mess, isn't it?
Who?
Remember, it's a lavatory, yeah.
Where's Tweedledee and Tweedledum?
We're seeing a lot of Liz. Where's Nancy?
What are you doing there?
It's too disgusting. Oh, I couldn't breathe, so I have to take a break.
Take a break. Nancy, come on.
Liz decides to make a personal appeal to Nancy in language she will understand.
The quicker we do it, the quicker we go.
Yeah.
And I've got to go to a black tie dinner.
Coming up, Tamara is invited to get to know the enemy better.
I can actually let you take it home, and tomorrow you'll have loads of babies in there.
And our glamorous ladies hit rock bottom.
How low can you go? Ah.
Every day, the nation's grime fighters clear up the mess we leave behind. But today, they've got some new recruits. 6 celebrities have agreed to swap their black ties and tiaras for gumboots and gloves. In Dagenham in Essex, posh Tamara Beckwith has teamed up with Pete the Pest Controller. She's learning a lot.
The hot spot, what we usually find, is always behind the fridges here. Where it's warm, you've got the motor behind the back. And you've got about 30 egg cases down there. In one egg case, you'll get 30 to 40 babies at you.
Pete is in his element, and he wants to share it.
The female carries them to the last knock-ins.
What does that mean, last knock-ins?
Well, a couple of minutes before hatching, and then she'll drop them.
Making me feel so itchy, Pete. I'm sorry, but I'm feeling like I don't want to know about their history. Do you know what I mean, Pete?
Spiders do the same, don't they? And some snakes actually curl up
I
pythons
don't
and
know,
all
Pete,
that.
funnily enough, I'm
So-
not really that bothered about like what creepy crawlies do in nature. I'm more of the poodle brigade, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'd be more interested in what poodles do when they're going to give babies.
Oh, right.
For Pete, working with Tamara is an impossible dream.
I don't know if she thinks I'm knowledgeable enough or clever enough, I don't know. She's not said like, oh, you're brilliant or well done. Another one there.
Tamara has heard every chat-up line, but this one takes the biscuit.
If there's a third world war, nuclear war, they'd most probably be one of the things, and a scorpion, most probably, be the 2 things which actually survive.
For the first time, Tamara feels out of her depth.
Come on, guys, can we just start killing them rather than chatting?
Pete has a practical way about him. First off, the concentrated poisonous spray.
He's up here, he's up here, he's up here. Look, he's on the picture, guys.
Tamara develops a clever form of pest detector.
I'm quite good at finding them, aren't I?
Yeah, well, it's your job. Do you want to actually kill it and zap it?
I don't mind zapping.
Go on then. Keep the nozzle away
Where's he
from
gone?
you. Well, you're too slow, ain't you? It's on the floor. That's it. Cool, you missed it.
No, I didn't.
There's no stopping Tamara now. It's a massacre of the not-so-innocent, and it seems Pete has also succumbed.
When I first saw her, being small, slim, good-looking and all that, I sort of like thought, oh, here we go, we're going to get someone who's frightened. But she ain't. She's actually got stuck in and really surprised me. And I wouldn't mind if she was helping me as a living.
But Pete's way of showing his feelings with a little present ends in disaster.
The one we've got here is a female. I can actually let you take it home, and tomorrow you'll have loads of babies in there.
Do you know, why don't you take it home? As I don't want that in my house. They're just making me so itchy. I keep seeing them all like this.
For the time being, the unlikely couple put aside their differences.
Yeah?
Yep, perfect.
While Pete lays poison gel around the flat, Tamara puts together the bait boxes.
That one's done right.
Yep, that's good. You'll get me in trouble if they ain't done right.
No, 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 I don't want to get into trouble.
Pete has gained Tamara's respect. As a pest controller, as someone you want on your side, he's brilliant.
I think it's fantastic. Yeah, because he's nice, he's you know what I mean, he's sweet, he's personable, he's clean. You know, he looks like he just stepped out of the shower.
They finish by putting down the bait boxes.
We come back in 3 weeks and we put more traps down, another load of gel. 9 out of 10, that usually, second visit, usually blitz them. Right. Lovely. Okay, I'll catch up.
At the end of the day, Tamara has graduated with honours.
There's another job done, see, another one I've helped out.
For Pete, Tamara's visit from another world has been magical.
Just wonderful. It's brought me day up. It has brought me day up, and I'm impressed with her. Very impressed with her.
Back in Lancashire, where Andrew Castle is helping to clear a repossessed house, the end's in sight.
It's going to be nice to see the floor.
It could have been easier if the whole lot could go, but some of it is valuable.
Photos, Christmas cards.
I tell you, that is old. Let me just check on that.
Yeah, check with her, yeah.
The person who lives here has to be consulted.
What is that?
It's not the easiest one. You know, it's difficult when you've got nowhere to put the things, and she's going to have to be quite ruthless in what she keeps.
Is that personal, this one here?
There's a lifetime of memories in this room, and Andrew makes sure nothing precious is discarded.
That's nice, isn't it? There's a lot of people like this, though, in the country at the minute, going through these times. I'm sure the climate that we're in, we're going to see a bit more of this as well, unfortunately.
Keep them now. Put them in your pocket.
For Andrew, the work hasn't been as hard as the emotional strain.
You never know what's going on behind the front door of a house that looks perfectly normal.
This is a big-time human story.
Mike has been impressed by his temporary recruit.
He's actually been an absolute star, and he's really got stuck in and grafted. Yeah, he's no different to the rest of us. He's a great guy.
Mike and his team will carry on tomorrow, but Andrew can call it a day. In Leicester, our high-maintenance ladies are finding high life in the flats all a bit too much.
I never saw something like this. To imagine that someone who was living here, this is quite unbearable.
The elderly tenant lived here alone.
What's so tragic is, how would nobody know that he lived like this? I mean, doesn't anybody check up on people? This doesn't just happen overnight. This takes years to accumulate. I mean, there's newspapers there dated 1970s. Well, that's 30 years ago.
See what he was reading? The Unknown, Dennis Williams. This is definitely a wonderful book. Books always are telling about who we are.
While Nancy enjoys a moment of reflection, in the bathroom, Liz is working flat out.
It's absolutely encrusted with this brown slime. How low can you go?
Finally, Graham the professional offers his assistance.
Hey Liz, would you like an hand with this bog?
Yeah, you tell me, what would you do with that?
But he'll only help if they can agree on what it's called.
That is a bog, that isn't it?
No. It's a bog.
So you don't fancy this for a living then, Liz?
I don't think so. So Graham, what are you using there to get all that?
File.
That is what?
That is just a big build-up of human feces.
That's never.
Yeah, it is.
What? Oh, I thought that was the stuff that you get from hard water.
No, it was...
This is something I don't think I'm going to be talking about at my black tie dinner tonight.
That's just full.
Are you obsessed with her cleaning?
After coming into houses like this, yeah, definitely. I like to get home. I like to, obviously, the smell of bleach, a clean house, really nice and clean.
Oh yeah, that's to be. I mean, it's a must.
We have to doing this all day.
Look at this.
That's coming up beautiful.
How about that?
Yeah, you've done cracking with this, Liz. I'm proud of you. It's the elbow grease, you see.
Yeah, I've got some strong elbows.
Yeah, don't get one in my head, will you?
Yeah, do you want them?
Oh my God.
Somebody's lashes.
Oh God.
With the bathroom finally done, it's downhill all the way.
There's a floor. There is a floor.
The lads worry there hasn't been enough excitement.
See that's where the mice have been like.
Yeah, you're right near where the mice have swum.
Just a joke, of course.
He's awful. Should I call it a day?
Oh.
Go to your black tie dinner then, miss. I have got a present for the pair of you.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
Oh, very sweet.
Oh, you are joking! Oh, how disgusting! And I didn't have my gloves on. Well, okay.
Classic.
Bye, Boris. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah. I don't think you will, actually.
No, you probably won't, no. That was icing on the cake, that was.
Nice pair of dirty pants.
Thought we were genuine as well.
I've fun with them. They're great. They show things that I didn't know.
I take my hat off to them
Yes,
both
absolutely.
for doing that job.
Our celebrities have found out what it's like to be a real grime fighter, but that's for this one special day. Spare a thought for the men and women who dedicate their lives to fighting grime. Across the UK, day in and day out, they are the unsung heroes, and we salute them.
Well, tomorrow the stars are out, honouring the brave men and women of our armed forces. A Night of Heroes is at 9, and over on ITV2, Keith Lemon welcomes JLS in a Celebrity Juice special. The Miami street racing circuit is the backdrop for a crime syndicate in our film Too Fast, Too Furious, after the ITV News.